So what we saw is basically we are going to see the example of Avro message format, which is published to the Kafka topic. Clear of this. Okay, so first what you need to, this is the schema you need to define, how you need to define for the Avro message. I told you this, and now I'll just show you the Kafka producer which sends the Avro message format. So you need to read this schema file. So for that you need to use Avro. You need to install the package called Avro-Python 3. Okay, and also this Avro message somehow I was not able to. I don't know whether it is available in the Kafka Python which I was using, right? The package. So if you look at the CSV and the JSON Kafka producer, I am using the Kafka producer from the Kafka package, which is installed using a Kafka-Python. Avro message producer I was not able to do. So I use the Confluent version of Kafka, right? So Confluent version of Kafka also, we can use the same Apache Kafka. The package, we can make use of the Confluent Kafka. So you need to install these two packages to make this program works. One is the Confluent Kafka. So pip install Confluent-Kafka. And for the Avro message publishing, we need to install this Avro-Python 3. Once you install these two packages, we can import the producer class from your Confluent Kafka, and also you can import this schema from Avro and Avro-IO other packages. So here I just create the Bootstrap server, right? So this the producer object, creating producer object, which is there in the Confluent Kafka, also little almost same but little difference. So you see your producer of, you pass this Kafka Confluent. So basically the Bootstrap server details, other stuff, right? With this JSON, you pass it to the producer. This star is basically a kind of unpacking. Okay, so that whatever there in the JSON, which will be sent to this producer class. If you look at producer class, so it will expect all this Bootstrap server and other information. So that's what we are putting it here. Now we create a producer object, okay, and all this data creation. And the important thing is you need to load the schema file, Avro schema file, which is orders.avsc format. How do you read it? So you can read, just a minute, I'm saving this important video. Okay, coming back to this. So we say schema.parse of open. We are opening a file, which is schema file, and reading it. So open is a normal IO operation, opening a file and reading data in a stream and provide to the parse function of the schema. So and so that will give you the Avro order schema. Remaining data, all this data preparation done. So again, it is, see, you make a dictionary which is like JSON object, and finally, what you need to do is you need to what I'm doing is, so first is schema, and then so here. So basically, you need to use some encoder. Okay, so just byte IO encoder, and we are writing the message, which is the JSON structure dictionary. Using the message encoder, we are writing it to the message encoder, and then using the message byte writer, get the value, which will be a byte array, and the producer object dot produce. So we just generally do producer object dot send, right? Here producer object dot produce. Similar like send method, you pass a Kafka topic and the message. This message in a raw format, which is Avro message converted into a byte array format. So once do this, so it starts sending your message in a Avro format. Okay, that's what this program does. The remaining things are same. So only in this part, you need to convert your the dictionary into Avro format, finally into byte array, and send it to the Kafka topic. So once this is sent to the Kafka topic, so let's I'll put some 500 message. Let's run this. Now we'll come back to the Avro streaming application. So I told you, apart from Kafka connector, we also need to provide the Avro connector details. So that I provided. Here, similarly, you schema, right? We have to read the schema, the order schema, because that has to be defined in the specific format which I showed you. This format, this is the Avro schema format. Okay, so that's what we are reading it here with the right mode, and you get it. So here the function which we use is from Avro. So for CS we use from CSV, for JSON we use from JSON, for this we use from Avro, and you pass the column, which is a string column of your string type of your value column, and your the Avro schema. So then it will actually parse your message and give it as a stack type column in a data frame. Then we use star operator to flatten your column. So only this part is different from the other program. So let me run this. Before that, let me run the producer, Avro producer, and publish some message. And then I'll run this. So what is the batch interval? 5 seconds only. Just a minute. I'm getting on the call. Okay, so it failed. It started. No? Okay, Kafka spark.jars.package, I guess. Yeah, just the property is wrong. Let me run it again. So this message is getting published. Let's see. So it downloaded the Spark Avro connector also. Now it will just start consuming the message and do the aggregate. Did I give the same topic name? Test type 1, topic 1. Yeah. So now it is started producing the aggregate result. Okay, so this is how you need to consume the message from Kafka topic, which comes in a different, if it is coming in a different message formats like Avro or JSON or CSV message format. Okay, so this is how you can consume and do the aggregates. Okay, so I will stop this. Now, so we covered the sources. Sync is going to be same as similar like source, only a few difference. I will tell you how to do that. So this will be very straightforward.
Sorry, that Avro file we cannot see, right? It will be binary format, right?
Yeah, it will be in binary format.
But how to create this schema without sync?
So basically, you know the structure, right? So basically, structure somebody has to provide.
Okay, so with Avro file, we are expecting a structure like this, right?
Yeah, correct. So,
Okay.
say example, if the downstream, the upstream system who's
Okay.
publishing the message in Avro format, they have to
Mhm.
provide that what format the at least they have to give the schema to you.
Okay, okay.
So otherwise we cannot. Okay. So any other question?
No, but okay.
So here I'm going to show you the sync. Uh, so sync will be very simple. So it just you have the final data frame. So which destination you want to put. So that's so if you take a file sync. So example, this is my final data frame. Okay, so I just reading from Kafka, which is comes in the which format? Yeah, which is coming in the JSON format. Extract and make the same. You can think of the raw data frame, which comes in the flattened structure. Finally, I want to write it into file. So you just see the Tinlo what we are using a console sync. We just write into console. You change the format instead of console, you make it as a CSV and mode as we know what mode we need to use and path. Apart from format, if it is a file sync, you need to choose the file format and also path on which you want to write the data. So I was using the SDFS. So let me write into the local disk or I have to start otherwise the Hadoop daemons. So for SDFS, you need to use this SDFS location you need to use. I will try to do it on local. I'll write it in a here only. So in the same directory, it is right. Okay, so the initial thing, everything is same. I'm trying to consume from the order events Kafka topic, and I parse the message. The final data frame, which is the flattened data, I want to write it into the file. That's it. So for this, I need to run this Kafka producer, which sends in a JSON format. I run this, and also I will run this. So it is going to create a data. So we just given path where it picked. Yeah, it is writing here. So every batch data in this node there. There. 0.5. So see this, the couple of messages been written here as a CSV format.
For every batch, it will create a file. Or...
Yeah, so basically it is every batch based on the number of partition, it will just write it into this data.
Partition is one, then it will be one file only.
Yeah, only one, correct.
But we don't have these many partitions, right?
No, this is keep writing into the same directory because it will actually say all the Spark, right? So basically, you don't write it into file, you write it into folder, right?
Okay.
In the Spark, so you cannot write as a file. It means even though you write CSV file or JSON, any other file you write the data into folder, not as a single file.
Okay.
So in this directory, the directory which I given as CSV data, this is the directory, and on that path, it will keep writing all your batch data,
Gotcha.
the micro batches data. So every micro batch, it will write the data into this location.
It cannot write into one batch, one file.
No, you cannot. So you can actually make multiple partition into and if you want, actually, you can actually in the path with the timestamp so that every batch data into subfolder like that. Because it's a this program is will not stop, right? So basically, whatever the location you give, in that location, it will keep writing into that data. So you can make subfolders, but not as a single file. Okay, so that's how it works. This is a file stream, so file sync example. So other file format, it just change the format here. That's it. No other coding changes. Just changing the format path anyway they're going to be same. Okay, now I'll show you how to publish the message into the Kafka sync. Okay, so for this, I'm going to use the same program. I'll just read from one topic, right? We read from test topic, I think, which is publishing the messages in what format? Here, I think I'm using JSON. So I will use order events topic. So order events we will read. Aggregate data we'll write into different topic. Instead of console sync, we'll write into order product. So output topic is going to be yeah, I just hard coded here itself. Just output Kafka topic. Okay, so same server I'm going to use. So if you are using different Kafka cluster, you can change the bootstrap server also. Okay, all the things you can do. I will just delete this earlier checkpoint directory. Okay, so let me explain this program. What we are going to do, we are going to read from the order events, which is the order data, which comes in the JSON format. We extract and flatten the message, and we do the same simple aggregate, finding the order amount for country and the city combination. Now this is your final data frame, orders underscore df4, which is a simple aggregate data frame. Now when you want to write it into the Kafka topic, your data frame, the orders underscore df4 has the schema of country, city, and total order amount. So the same data frame you cannot simply use and write into Kafka. You need to make this into value column. So basically your final data frame should be a key value column, the data frame which has key value, right? So because you see when you consume from the Kafka topic, you get the same key value and with additional columns. Similarly, when you write into Kafka sync, which is the Kafka topic, your final data frame should have a column as key and value. Key you can put any value. So I'm just using a rename. I'm passing the country for simplicity. For just since I'm not using the key, I'm going to pass the country column as a key, and a value column we have to combine all the columns. So what are the columns we have? So you need to make use of this function called toJSON and named struct, because the JSON message which will be converted to the struct field. So key is the country and value is from the column country column. So similarly, key is one of the keys the city. What I say is this key is just a miss the JSON message. How do you key value? JSON is nothing but a key value, right? So this is my country field, key field, and value, and city, and the order amount. So like this, you need to convert, right, to a JSON and make that column as a value column. So finally, this data frame, Kafka underscore orders underscore df4 will have the data frame of key value. Now this can be sent it to the Kafka topic. So this also I'm trying to put it in the console, so for you to just show you. And finally, this we are writing. Write stream, you put trigger interval and query name, and format as Kafka, bootstrap server, and topic. How you are writing? Similarly, you are going to how you read it from the Kafka topic. You are going to write it also. The only difference is your data frame should be with the column key value. The value column will have the entire your data which you want to publish. Any query? Any question on this?
No.
So I will run this. Publishing some. Okay, so this is order events, right? Okay, let's run the our console, Kafka console consumer, so that you can monitor here. Kafka console. There is output topic. I'm going to consume. Okay. Okay, so let's run this program. So whenever it write into this topic, which is local. Okay, so I think we are not created yet. So let's create this. Put icon topic. Okay, it's already. Okay. Let me run this. This is the order events getting published. And let's run this program to publish. I think of output topic, right? So first batch, I don't see any data. 0th batch, I don't see any data. Let's wait for 5 more seconds. So once this publishes to the output topic, so this is how the final data frame, which is sent to the topic, will be there. So if there is some raw data has come, and it will be processed. So, so this is the aggregated data in this. So we'll make that into a key value column, right? this 3 column will be made into another data frame given. So you see, keys I used the country, and value will be the entire message. Let's see in here. So which is getting published into the output topic. This is how we need to use Kafka Sync. Say example, one system is publishing the message to the Kafka topic. So say example, your job is to consume the data, which is your source system, which is also Kafka. So you read it. So finally you do some computation. Finally, the downstream system also, again Kafka, maybe the another Kafka cluster. So you need to write it into the Kafka the cluster using the Kafka Sync. Okay, so that's a scenario we just showed you here. That's how you need to use a file sync and a Kafka Sync. I hope this is clear. Let me know if you have any questions. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do is basically I'll stop with this. So we saw Spark. We started with the PySpark, learning about RDD. Then we learned about the data frame. In the data frame, Spark SQL, basically a data frame operation is one category. Another is a Spark. There's expressing your SQL query. The operation in SQL query is another category. We saw that, and we didn't actually. Then we saw the Spark structure streaming. So Spark structure streaming basically runs for every based on the batch interval or trigger interval you provide. It's going to be a long-running job. It will never stop unless any exception comes or you manually kill it. So for batch job, this streaming is one type of requirement, right? All the projects may not have a streaming requirement. Okay, so most of the project will have the batch requirement. Even though if you have a streaming requirement, there will be definitely a batch requirement. Means you write a PySpark program, you have to schedule that program using some scheduling tool and schedule the job for some periodic time. So example, think of as the scenario which file sync we used, right? Close this. So we use the file sync. Okay. So think of as there is a same what we consume is basically the order data. Okay, we take some e-commerce site which is publishing the data into Kafka topic. So we read that data and we just dumped it into the HDFS or any storage, the raw data. Okay, so we did not do any aggregation. We just dumped the raw data into HDFS. So so once you dump it, say example there is a requirement, you want to process the data end of the day. Okay, so end of the day you need to take that entire day data and you want to process and get some insight out of it. Okay, so you need to write a separate PySpark program to read this data, and based on the requirement you have to do the computation and finally write into the maybe another systems. Okay, downstream systems. So every day you need to schedule that program to run it every day at whatever time you want to schedule it. Example, midnight, 12 o'clock, or early morning, 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever time, right? So you need some scheduling tool to schedule your PySpark job, right? So there are a couple of options available in the market. One is in Hadoop, there is a component called Apache Woozy, which is used to scheduling your Hadoop jobs or Spark jobs. Okay, and there are another components, another tools like Control-M, Autosys. Autosys and Control-M are proprietary tools, licensed tools. Apache Oozie is a freeware, and there is recently the very popular, which is getting adopted different companies, is the Airflow, Apache Airflow. There is a open source scheduling tool called Apache Airflow, which is used to schedule your overflow management tool, schedule your jobs in a periodic time. Okay, so the best part is here this Apache Airflow, the configurations basically a Python program. So you take your PySpark program and using you write the configuration in as a Python program. Means you read the PySpark program, take the PySpark program, run for the specific time interval in Airflow. And Airflow gives very good UI tool, monitor your jobs, whatever time it runs and whether it is failed or a success and how much time it looks and logs. There are many information Airflow provides. So I'm going to explain you Apache Airflow tomorrow, and I will help you how to schedule your PySpark job in Airflow. We'll start with simple Python program. Even Airflow is basically a scheduling tool. So Airflow can schedule different types of jobs. One is a PySpark job. Even if it is a simple shell script, you can schedule it. Even if it is a simple Python program, you can schedule it. So there are different types of jobs you can schedule it in Airflow. Okay, so we will see tomorrow. And the next week, I'm planning to start the cloud computing, AWS cloud computing sessions. Let me know if you have any queries or suggestions. I'm happy to take it.
Sure. AWS free tier, you can install this one, right? Hadoop and all.
Yeah, we are going to use the free tier one, correct? You can create account for free trial. I'm going to use the because the free trial you cannot use some services. EC2 instance you can create. S3 bucket also you can create, and these are the two we are going to use. And EMR you cannot do it in free trial. You have to use. You have to actually purchase. When you use EMR, it will be charged. Okay, so EMR is basically Hadoop and Spark cluster on AWS cloud. Okay, so that I'm going to use it. That you cannot. It's not comes under free trial. Means if you use it will be charged. Even if you are in free trial, use EMR service, it will be charged. Okay, so probably you can follow whatever I do. I am going to use one of my friend's account. So I cannot share the account details, but I can just tell you how to do that. I will. So in future, if you get a time, you can just do that. Okay, then I think it's going to close. We'll sync up tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.